Okay, I'm joined by the Starkey brothers today. On the left, we have Brandon, who's a senior, and Austin on the right, who is a freshman, both from St. Paul, Nebraska. Brandon, starting with you, you were part of the initial class that got wrestling started here at Concordia. What drew you to that opportunity, and why did you choose Concordia? How did you find out about the wrestling program, I guess?
Well, I really just got a call from old Coach Reese, and he asked me to come up and visit the place. And when I came here, just all the new facilities and everything really drew my attention.
In Austin, I'm sure you had a chance to see your brother wrestle at Concordia here before you got here. What convinced you to join Brandon this past season?
Well, I wasn't really sure going into it, but the coaches told me you only really have one shot at it, so don't do something you'll regret or whatever. You can always quit if you want to, but I feel like I've really enjoyed it so far, and with the new facilities, it's been really nice.
And Brandon, when Austin was trying to decide on a school, did you push him towards Concordia? What did you tell him about the school and the wrestling program?
Well, I really wanted what was best for him, but I kind of tried to push this as hard as I could and get him to come here.
Austin, tell me a little bit about how wrestling has been part of the family, and were you influenced to learn the sport at an early age? How did you get started?
Yeah, I started really early with my dad being the head of the little kids. I kind of just always went up there. I'd always go and watch Brandon wrestle, so I was kind of just born into it.
So were both of you kind of involved in tournaments and things at a young age? Just tell me a little bit about that history.
Well, I think I started wrestling when I was like 3 or 4, and I don't really remember, but I'm sure I started tournaments right then. I know for a fact I at least started tournaments in like 2nd grade.
Did the two of you get a start kind of wrestling each other in the house, or how did that work?
Yeah.
And who usually won those battles?
Me. I was usually a lot bigger. Until this year, I've always been bigger than him, so I always had the advantage.
You guys have a teammate, Alex Stepanek, from the same hometown in high school in St. Paul. What's the culture, I guess, like at that high school?
I don't know. We were a pretty close group of wrestlers in high school, so we were all pretty good friends, just like we are here. So, it kind of, when Alex was thinking about wrestling, it kind of just made sense for him to follow along and come here.
For both of you, what was it like being a part of the same team, starting in high school or junior high, and what was it like having a father to be there to help bring you along with the sport?
Well, with him being 3 years older, I only really wrestled with him 1 year together in high school, and I feel like that went pretty well. Since we're brothers, we were always pushing each other, trying to outdo each other, and now coming here, I've got 1 more year to wrestle with him.
Brandon, who has been your biggest influence in the sport?
I guess I'd probably say my dad. He always was there to help me out and listen to me, and if I ever needed anything extra, like after practice, he was always willing to work with me and help me out with any problems I had.
Austin, I'm assuming you two have had the chance to go up against each other in practice. So what are those bouts like? And I'm sure that's pretty competitive.
Yeah, it gets pretty heated, but we understand that it's going to get that way, so we just kind of let it go after practice and leave it be.
So are they as competitive as they've ever been? Is it one of those things where either one of you can win?
Yeah, there's always a clear winner.
Austin, how helpful is it to to be at the same university as your older brother, and I'm sure it's nice that if you have questions about something, how helpful is that?
Oh, it's pretty helpful. If I ever need to know where class is or where something's at, he's always there to help, and so is everybody else on the team. So it's been really nice.
Now, Brandon, after a tournament or a duel, do you two talk about what happened and kind of break it down, or do you just kind of talk about other things?
Yeah, we usually end up talking about it when we get home. Sometimes it just leads to arguments, but I think in the end we help each other out.
Austin, with your brother's career coming to an end soon here at Concordia, what are your thoughts on what Brandon has accomplished here?
Well, I feel like him going to nationals his first 3 years, and hopefully this year, that's a pretty big step for the program, and that's a pretty big thing for the school too.
And Brandon, what do you think about Austin's first year here competing as a freshman?
Well, it was kind of the same thing like when I was a senior in high school. Everybody asked me, is he going to break your records? Well, I mean, records are meant to be broken, and if somebody's going to break them, I may as well have it be my brother. So I hope he outdoes me here.
It looks like both of you have a chance to get to nationals. For you, Brandon, what would that mean to be able to go again and do it as a senior?
I mean, it'd be a pretty big deal for me. Making it for 4 years is a pretty big accomplishment. It's been one of my goals as long as I can remember. So to be able to complete that goal would mean a lot to me.
And Austin, what are you expecting of yourself as you get ready to compete at regionals for the first time?
Well, I haven't placed all year, and this is the tournament to place at, so I'm gonna go out there.
Brandon, as a senior and exercise science major, what are your future plans, and do you think wrestling will continue to be part of your life as you move forward?
Yeah, I think wrestling will always be part of my life no matter what. After this, I'm planning on going to chiropractic school in either St. Louis or Kansas City.
What advice would you give Austin for the rest of his career now at Concordia?
Just keep working hard in classes and practice.
And Austin, what do you think you have learned maybe from observing Brandon, or anything that he's tried to pass along to you that maybe will help you in your next few years?
He's always makes me work myself, push myself hard. It's never something I've really enjoyed doing, so it's really been helpful, and also to not ever quit and just keep fighting through it all.